Mike here, doing a little bit of a deck tech on my Damia Sage of the Stone EDH deck. Damia, she is probably my favorite commander that I've ever used. I've used several. I've used Maelstrom. I've used, it's kind of hard to name some of them now. I've used some pretty bad ones. I've used Seed, known as Zedru, the gift giver. I've used Gave. I've used Nekuzar. I've used Hippogriff. I've used a bunch basically in the past, but Damia so far is my favorite commander. Although I am running an Edric deck now, and Edric is definitely up there in the running because Edric's sweet. Anyways, Damia, Death Touch for 7, skip your draw step, and basically allows you to fill up your hand up to 7 cards, and she's a 4/4. She's very, very intimidating in a lot of games. Now, the people I tend to play with tend to see Damia as a kind of a weak commander, not so much as a big threat compared to Rafik or Maelstrom Wanderer or Gaddock T, but she can be pretty menacing when it just so happens that you're dumping your hand every turn and every card you draw tends to be powerful. Anyhow, moving on. In this video today, we're going to go over the lands. I run a bunch of lands. I think I run about 37. And without further ado, let's get started. So first up, we have 6 individual forests here, including Dryad Arbor. I include Dryad Arbor as a forest, but a very weak forest, mainly because people can target it with kill spells like Go for the Throat or Dismember, or, even kill it with a Electricity, which is kind of sad, but, odds are people are not going to be running those individual kill spells in their deck, because, that's just kind of weird to run that, in my opinion, to run those individual kill spells, because you mainly want to board wipe in EDH. Going off the swamps, I have 4 swamps, and I should have 5 islands here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, moving on. These are basically my lands that tap for more than one color. First up, we have the green-blue ones. Breeding Pool, Temple of Mystery, which is basically a more powerful version of a Simic Guildgate, and a Hinterland Harbor. Moving on to the black-green, we have Woodland Cemetery. I feel as though I said that before. Overgrown Tomb, and Verdant Catacombs, and Temple of Melody. The reason why I put Verdant Catacombs in this category is because it does search for a forest or a swamp card. It's very specific, but odds are you're gonna search for something that's gonna help you get the colors you need, like a breeding pool or a watery grave sometimes, or even if you have the old dual lands, you'll go for a bayou and what is it, Tropical Island, or even what's that other one? Tropical Island, bayou, Underground Sea. That's right, the most expensive one. Moving on to the blue-black, Temple of Deceit, Drowned Catacomb, and Water Grave. Now, we're moving on to the lands that tap for basically any color. Command Tower is definitely a staple in every EDH deck because it allows you to tap for any mana color specific to your general, which is great in my opinion. And Forbidden Orchard. Why? Because it goes really well with a card called Defense of the Heart. I really don't care that I give a person a 1/1 color spirit. The fact is that spirit can't fly, and if I can add any mana to my mana pool, a 1/1 giving that to an opponent is a mild sacrifice that I'm willing to take. Now these next 4 lands here work very well with each other. Vesuva obviously works well when you're targeting any sort of land. It's very useful, very versatile. Thespian Stage is even more so versatile, mainly because it's Vesuva, but it still has the ability that allows you to change it to another land in case you decide that you don't want that land. that it originally copied. Cabal Coffers and Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. A lot of people tend to run these two cards together in EDH because they just pump so much mana, making all of your land swamps in addition to their other types. But usually in most games, I find that I play an Urborg and I scape shift for Cabal Coffers, a Thespian Stage, and a Vesuva, just so that I can get a bunch of Cabal Coffers on the battlefield and just tap for a ridiculous amount of black mana. Some more utility lands. Strip Mine. I don't like to run land destruction, and this is actually my only land destruction card, but it's always a good option just in case somebody's running some lands that are more threatening than my lands. Like, for example, if somebody has a Boseiju and I don't have a Boseiju, I don't want them to have that Boseiju, so I'm gonna happily sack a land in order to get rid of that Boseiju. And with Crucible of Worlds, you know, sacking Strip Mine is no big deal, because I can get it back. Boseiju, a really powerful card. I've seen... It's definitely a game changer, because I've seen people go from having no board position to basically flopping the board in their favor. You know, like somebody plays Living Death, or somebody plays Leyline of the Void, then they cast Living Death with this card and make it uncounterable. It's just ridiculous. Helmar Depths allows you to look at the top 3 cards and rearrange them in any order. Very powerful utility land in itself. I mean, it does enter the battlefield tap, but its ability kind of makes up for that. Alchemist Refuge, definitely one of those cards I've seen win games, mainly because it allows you to cast your non-land cards at the end of somebody else's turn. And I've seen people, well, I typically tend to play this and then you know, activate its ability and play a Defense of the Heart just so that I can get that creature advantage the next turn, assuming that nobody counters it or, you know, Croson grips it. These next 2 cards are actually going to be the last 2 cards that I go over. They work really well, hand in hand. Phyrexian Tower and Volrath Stronghold. Basically, Phyrexian Tower, you sack a creature, add 2 black mana to your mana pool, and Volrath Stronghold, 1 colorless, 1 black, put target creature from your graveyard on top of your library. Odds are, just in case I want to pump up my mana acceleration, I will sack something along the lines of a Solemn Simulacrum to add 2 black mana to my mana pool, and then I'll tap the Stronghold to put the Solemn Simulacrum back on top of my library, and then I'll rinse and repeat. It's really sweet. These cards are really great. Love them. If you're running black, definitely try to get these cards. Definitely well worth it. Anyhow, that's it for this video, so I'll see you guys in the next video.